In January of this year, ChatGPT, the world's foremost publicly available artificial intelligence software, passed the Wharton Business School exam, the medical school licensing exam in New York State, and the New York State Bar. I think we can all agree that this is at least a little bit terrifying. But this situation is not hopeless, primarily because the renewed focus on oral communication will arise as a result of artificial intelligence. Furthermore, as AI progresses and technology continues to swamp our lives, studying oral communication will provide the pivotal skills we need to succeed. Today's prompt does not ask us why oral communication matters. I think everyone in this room knows that. Rather, it asks us why it specifically matters and what it specifically adds to an education in the year 2023. Thus, my speech will be attempting to answer it by focusing on today's technological problems and how they will turn a renewed focus and value in oral communication. First, in education. Second, in the professional world. And third, and most importantly, in our social and political lives. As I'm sure many of you have heard already, there's a big panic going around among teachers, especially at lower levels of education, about whether or not they'll be able to tell if a student wrote a paper or if an AI did. And I have unfortunate news for them. The Future of Human Life Institution at Oxford University, headed by the AI analyst Nick Bostrom, estimates that by 2025, it will become impossible to detect whether a paper under 10 pages was written by a human or a robot, even if it's robots doing the detection. I don't doubt that the written word will continue to possess value in some regard. However, I also am beyond confident that this will turn a renewed focus on oral examination within the classroom. Thus, studying oral communication will become pivotal to success in the classroom. Furthermore, studying oral communication will be the only means in education to get the jobs of the future, which is my second point. The first piece of this is relatively obvious. Cover letters may already be written by robots. I mean, we have to follow such a standardized format. There's no humanity there to begin with. And AI is only going to take that many steps further. Thus, I anticipate an increasing expectation that job applicants don't only have to perform well in an interview, as is currently the case, but that the written application will fade away as the spoken application, whether it's an in-person video or an in-person assessment or a submitted video, is the criterion for getting a job. More importantly is the new careers that will emerge. The aforementioned Future of Human Life Institute determines that there will be new careers built around interpreting what the AI outputs and relaying that in a way that everyone can understand. Now, while this might not make sense at first, as you have more and more standardized and written communication, being able to extract what the AI has in there and communicate it not only to your peers, but also the general public becomes increasingly important. But far beyond all of this is what AI is doing to already existing social trends. I'm sure we're all familiar with the well-established empirical link between social media, technology, and our loneliness and depression epidemics. Artificial intelligence is only going to make that worse. Currently, there's a direct correlation between spending time inside on one's phone and feelings of depression. When one is talking to a robot who is perfectly tailored to their exact needs and desires, this will get that much worse. There will be a fading of confidence in the connections we share with others because people will be talking to machines. And it gets even more pernicious. Even when people think that they are talking to other humans, they may very well be talking to machines. Researchers estimate that by this year, Microsoft, Google, and Apple will all have advanced AI, including ChatGPT APIs, within their software. This means that you take out your phone and you have an AI write a perfectly coherent text message. Next, the AI on the receiver's phone responds to it. We won't even be able to tell whether we're talking to our friends or our family because it will probably turn into all robots. The only way out of this increasingly dangerous and terrifying situation is to speak to each other in person, to orally communicate, and to share what we not only have in common, but what we have as differences. And I hone in on differences because the tendency of technological development is to morph everything into one homogeneous lot. We don't want that. The beautiful thing about oral communication is that everyone is different. In the written word, you get style, and it matters, and you get prose, and it matters. But those differences fail in comparison to how different the speakers up here are today. We've already seen that shown. And this will only continue through today's presentations. Additionally, written communication has a bit of an isolating quality. When you're speaking to people, when you're getting in person, you have to understand them as people. Wrapping up today's speech, I want to return to an earlier notion of academic development from the beginning of the 20th century, which stipulated that what set humans apart from other species was our capacity to write. I think the remarkable advances of those societies which did not possess the written word disproves that. Rather, it is our capacity to speak and to listen and to orally communicate which sets us apart from other species and instills us with our shared humanity. As artificial intelligence develops and supercharges the already present epidemics created by social media, this focus on oral communication becomes not only important for our social lives, but vital to our continued survival as a species. Artificial intelligence and technology threaten to destroy us, but this will not be the case if we study oral communication. If applied correctly, oral communication will be a salve, a healing balm on our shared culture of isolation, depression, and above all else, narcissism. Ones and zeros can write a good essay, and they can probably write a good dissertation, but they definitely can't talk, they can't listen, and they damn sure can't give a public speech. Thank you.